Hi everyone. Welcome to Daily Recaps. Today, I am going to explain a movie called Miracle in Cell Number 7. Hope you like it. Enjoy the video and take care. The movie starts with a scene of Yi-sung, who is 6 years old, with her mentally ill father, Yong-gu. Outside a shop, the father-daughter duo is seen repeating the steps of a Sailor Moon advertisement. Yi-sung then asks her father to buy the last piece of the Sailor Moon bag that was left for her at the shop. Yong-gu tells her that he will buy the bag for her. The next day after he receives the payment, another buyer buys the last bag available in the store at the exact moment. Yong-gu enters the shop, acting childishly, and asks the shop owner to give them the bag they've been looking for a long time. After Yong-gu tries to take the bag from his daughter, Choi, the customer, who appears to be a police commissioner, slaps him. In the following scene, we witness Yi-sung taking command and parenting her father as best she can as a 6-year-old girl. They have a goodbye ritual in which Yi-sung counts to 3 and Yong-gu turns around to make their most ridiculous faces. Choi, the commissioner's daughter, finds Yong-gu the next day after the work and attempts to show him another store that sells the same backpacks. Choi tells Yong-gu that she must accompany her to the store. While running on the icy pavement, the small girl trips and a brick lands on her head. Yong-gu notices the unconscious girl and attempts CPR on her right away. He also pulls her trouser legs down to allow for proper blood circulation. A bystander, on the other hand, sees everything and misinterprets it as a sexual assault. The police then arrest Yong-gu on charges of rape and murder. Yong-gu is next seen at a police station, where he is being questioned about the incident by detectives. He, on the other hand, is always claiming that his daughter Yi-sung is waiting for him at home alone. When he attempts to return home, he is attacked by police officers who are photographed by the media. The officers then falsely claim that Yong-gu was the one who attacked them first. Yi-sung leaves the house the next morning in search of her father. For a site check, Yong-gu is also transported to the same location where the incident occurred. In exchange for meeting his daughter, the officers force him to perform a fake reenactment. Police officers interpret his actions as rape and murder of a minor. Yi-sung rushes over to her father as he is being carried away by cops. However, one of the police officers grabs her and prevents them from meeting. Yong-gu is then taken to prison and placed in cell number 7, along with 5 other inmates. His 5 inmates are Bon Shik, arrested for pickpocketing, Chun-ho and Grandpa, arrested for fraud, Man-beam arrested for adultery, and Yong-ho, arrested for involvement in smuggling and gangster business. All of the inmates despise him because of his falsely accused crime and mental illness. They begin to beat him up. However, when they learn that he is about to be executed, they become very moved. Another gang in the prison is plotting to assassinate Yong-ho, the prison's commander. When Yong-gu notices the opposition gang preparing to attack Yong-ho, he rushes to his aid. He succeeds in preventing Yong-ho from being stabbed. As a result, Yong-ho offers to assist Yong-gu in any way he can as a way of repaying the favor. Yong-gu expresses his desire to see his daughter Yi-sung to Yong-ho. In the movie next scene, we see a church's choir band singing the choirs for the inmates. Yi-sung is also seen dancing and playing an instrument in the choir. The warden is taken aback to see the children in the prison choir, but he receives a call from the minister and is forced to leave the event before he can learn more. Man-beam recognizes an opportunity and removes Yi-sung from the stage, placing her in a box before transporting her to the prison to meet her father. Yi-sung is successfully brought into the jail and reconciled with her father by the convicts. When the father and daughter finally meet, they embrace one another. Meanwhile, Yong-gu keeps on saying to his daughter that he is not a bad person. Next, the little girl is introduced to her father's cellmates, and then it's time for her to return. However, Yi-sung does not want to return home and rather wishes to remain in prison with her father. She also claims that she is an expert at hiding. In order to get back to the choir's bus, Man-beam manages to calm her down and confine her to a box. However, the bus leaves the prison gates before he can arrive, forcing Man-beam to return Yi-sung to the jail. The other inmates in the jail are worried that if they are caught, their sentences will be lengthened. They devise a plan to transport the girl outside the prison when another group arrives to perform one day while performing cleaning duties. One day, The warden receives the photos from the choir event and discovers one of the children missing. To find the missing girl, he sends his men to examine all the jail chambers. Everyone in cell No. 7 is frightened and start brainstorming a plan to hide Yi-sung. Despite their best efforts, the young girl is discovered by the warden and brought to the child care center, while Yong-gu is confined in a separate room as a punishment. The same night, one of the inmates sets a fire in his cell, pleading with the guards to let him meet his father. He continues to pour gasoline on the flames, paying no attention to anyone. The chief warden approaches him and tries to stop him, but he ends up trapped in a burning chamber. The remaining inmates have all been released. Yong-gu notices the chief warden among the flames on his way out. Seeing him in this state, Yong-gu puts himself in danger and rushes to his aid. In the following scene, the chief warden awakens in a hospital room, where the doctor informs him that Yong-gu risked his life to save him. The chief warden looks over to Yong-gu, who is hurt and lying next to him. Meanwhile, Yi-sung meets her choir instructor and convinces her to take her to meet her father. The kind choir instructor accepts her request and drives her to the prison. As the father and daughter duo reunite again, the warden is keeping a close eye on them. The warden begins looking into Yong Kae-soo's later that night. He begins to believe Yong-gu is innocent and that his case is made up. Later, the warden pays a visit to the investigation office and discusses Yong Kae-soo's with one of his colleagues. The colleague informs him that the case involved the daughter of a police commissioner and that they had to make a decision quickly. The warden discovers that Yong testimony Goose is false after reviewing the case file. Because of Yong mistreatment, Goose the warden allows Yi-sung to visit him every day after school. There, she becomes attached to all the cellmates. She even teaches them to write. When Bon-shik expresses his disappointment at not being able to communicate with his pregnant wife, Yi-sung lends him a mobile phone that she took from one of her friends. The next morning, one of the wardens rushes towards Yong-gu, informing him that his trial is nearing. All of his cellmates resolve to prepare him for the trial and prove his innocence in court after hearing this. They want Yong-gu to explain the entire incident to them. Yong-gu claims he was simply following the young girl when he noticed her on the ground, bleeding from her head. The cellmates are perplexed as to how somebody might die from falling while running. They recreate the entire situation and conclude that the girl died after slipping on the icy floor and being struck in the head by a brick. Before the trial, Yong-gu is instructed by his imprisoned companions on how to respond to the prosecution's potential questions, and he diligently practices and becomes excellent in answering the questions presented by his roommates. Yong-gu is constantly reminded by the inmates to practice his answers to potential questions. Meanwhile, a national lawyer comes to Yong Seol-gu's and threatens him with confessing to the murder. He goes on to say that the police commissioner is a powerful figure who, if he refuses to confess, will ruin his daughter's life. Yi-sung, the jail warden, and the inmates of Room 7 all attend Yong trial Goose to prove his innocence. Unfortunately, the commissioner visits Yong-gu before the trial, where he brutally assaults him, while threatening to kill his daughter unless he confesses. To protect his daughter, Yong-gu makes the ultimate sacrifice by claiming that he killed the commissioner's daughter. On December 23rd, Yong-gu is condemned to death, which also happens to be Yi-sung's birthday. The inmates decide to build a hot air balloon as part of their grand scheme to free Yong-gu because they feel sorry for him. Yong-gu and Yi-sung are sent on a hot air balloon during a prison function, and they successfully try to stop the guards from arresting Yong-gu, but the balloon's line is caught by barbed wire. Instead of being sad, they take advantage of the opportunity to enjoy the last rays of the setting sun. Before Yong-gu is executed, the inmates celebrate Yi birthday songs inside the cell. Everyone gives the little girl a lovely present, and Yong-gu gives her the yellow Sailor Moon backpack she has always desired. Yi-sung bows down and thanks Yong-gu for being her father, overjoyed by the gift. However, the celebrations are soon cut short as the executor calls Yong-gu. The cellmates are devastated, but they hide their tears and let Yi-sung that their father is being transported to a different cell. Before being escorted away, Yong-gu hugs his daughter and starts crying. As his daughter also starts crying, Yong-gu pleads with the guards that he doesn't want to be separated from his daughter, but they are powerless to help him. Because of the false accusations, Yong-gu is executed after a while. In the present, an adult Yi-sung, now adopted by the warden, works hard to become a lawyer and represents the case in court. The scene shifts with a girl requesting records related to the Lee Yong-gyu kidnapping and murder case, which occurred in 1997. She then exits the prison after receiving the paperwork and finds a balloon hovering overhead. She comes to halt in front of the balloon, which has been tangled in the barbed wire fence. The scene moves to a court hearing, where the same case from 1997 is being trialed for the second time. Yi-sung is defending the case and requesting a reinvestigation of all evidence presented to the court. The opposing lawyer inquires if she was present at the time of the incident. Yi-sung then responds that she did not witness the incident, but she was present throughout the investigation. Yong-gyu is found to be innocent and is thus released from his sentence thanks to the testimony of the inmates and public support. The movie shifts to a scene where Yi-sung then has a vision of Yong-gyu and her younger self waving farewell to her from a hot air balloon. As the balloon soars away into the sky, she cries a sorrowful goodbye to her father, signifying that Yong-gyu is free and going to paradise, as well as signaling that Yi-sung is finally letting her father go. Despite their differences, the story best represents how eternal a father-daughter love can be. And also it may be a good lesson to learn that, how we should keep digging, even though all the evidence points, as explained in the story. That's all from the movie. Thanks for watching. If you really want more interesting videos like this, then like and subscribe to Daily Recaps. See you again. Take care.